Rutherford County Market at Lane Agri Park.
Local farmers with local meats, vegetables, and other produce at the Winter Spring Rutherford County Farmers Market every Friday through April.
You'll find it there from frost to boundless seas and sing. We're winter tough and welcoming spring. So bundle up and make your way every Friday at Lane Agri Park.
At the Lane Agri Park in Murfreesboro. This is
FM 1019, FM 100.5, wgnsradio.com. The Good Neighbor Network. We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with Rick and Wayne. And good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. A little yucky outside, but hey, we are approaching Turkey Day, so it's not supposed to be real pretty.
No, it's not. I liked it last night, though. I don't know about y'all, but I slept so good. I woke up, always about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard that beat down on the back porch, and I just loved it, and it put me right back to sleep. So I'm a fan of it.
Well,
long as it ain't snow, we're good.
Well, good point. Something about my sleep pattern, I have a witching hour somewhere like between 2:30 and 3:30. I wake up every night between that time, and I just have no idea why, because I just do. Fortunately, I go back to sleep.
I've done it forever. Just being, prior law enforcement, I literally get up every night and go outside and walk the outside of my house. I've done it for 20 years. It's just weird. But
I'm glad I don't have that habit.
Yeah.
Off on another note, what a great football weekend with MTSU beating Sam Houston.
What about that win, man?
Oh, we stayed to the very end. And,
oh, really?
And it was of course, disappointing crowd, but you go to support your university and your team, and of course Tennessee had a big win in the Swamp, so that was
Bandery.
Yep, and
that's a showdown this weekend.
Yep, and Titans continue to shoot themselves in the foot, so hopefully they'll eventually get it together. I have been impressed with Cam Ward. I think he's a real deal.
He's the only positive light they got going right now, for sure.
Pretty much. So, looking forward. Would like to do a quick public service announcement. Sam Davis Lodge 661, located on Mary Law Drive, which is just across the street from the old food line there on the corner of Nissan and Sam Davis. They're going to have a Cookies with Santa. It's on Saturday, December the 6th from 10 to 2, and the admission is $10 per person, or $20 for a family, and includes cookies and visit picture with Santa. So again, December the 6th, I think it'll be a fun time there at the Masonic Lodge there off of Nissan. So, Brother Rick, we have a great guest this morning. Of course, Donna Barrett is the director of Recycle Right Tennessee, which recycling is as a passion for both of us. And of course, Ms. Barrett spent a number of years in the House of Representatives here for the General Assembly, and was a strong leader for Tennessee all those years. And I know we hated to lose you, but you picked up another couple of hats, and and you continue to lead. So thank you for being with us this morning.
Wayne, thank you so much. And, those hats are still in the closet. I guess I can dust them off at any time and pick them back up. But thank you, gentlemen, for having me here today. It's always fun to come talk trash.
Yes, ma'am.
And I brought a guest with me today. If I could introduce her, Asia Weatherford. She is the administrative assistant for Recycle Right TN. She's my fingers behind the keyboard.
Yes.
And one of my best researchers that I've got. She puts
wow.
me, I pale in comparison, but she's helping me make sure that everything we do at Recycle Right TN is something that's positive for the community and has the end results we're looking for. So I'm pleased to have her on board.
Well, great. So catch us up. We've had you on a few months ago. We were talking a lot about you. At that time, you had a whole lot in planning, and since then, you've made a presentation to Rutherford County, and then you've been on with this subcommittee that you've got going on in Nashville with Senator Reeves and them. But where are we standing? Where are things looking at here lately?
Well, we're about ready to fall down.
Fatigue.
Fatigue. We're looking forward to the holiday time. No, we've actually had a lot of successes since we last spoke. And if I repeat myself, I apologize. We've tried to get ourselves in front of as many people to talk about Recycle Right TN as we could.
That's right.
So I think the last time we were here, we were just about ready to launch the website, recyclerightTN.com. And within 60 days of launching that, we had thousands of hits with nothing more than the talk we've done here on WGNS and the few presentations we've made to the county and city officials. The response has been absolutely amazing, and within hours of day one of it launching, we were getting questions and comments from the community. So, and for those that don't remember what Recycle Right TN is, it is a clearinghouse of all the opportunities and venues we have to recycle, not just our convenience centers, but private sector entities that we have here in Rutherford County, which right now total over 70 private entities that either recycle as part of their business model or it is part of their sustainability commitment to the community. So we are very pleased to have identified those and make it available to the community.
The entities. So give me an example of that. So you just came and spoke at Rotary this less than a month ago. So, and you gave some great examples of what. So give us some examples of some of those entities that we can take things to. Like I'm thinking batteries that you provided with those boxes.
Several things with batteries. We can start with that. If it's car batteries, obviously we have AutoZone and those places that are available to take that to. O'Reilly's in the area, and they'll take the car batteries. Your single-use or recyclable batteries, be it something that's in your flashlight, your digital camera, or any larger, the rechargeable appliances we have, like the blowers and things along that, those can go back to Staples. They have a program where they take back batteries. They also take back electronics, but we're focusing on batteries right now. And through them, there is a company that takes them in New York and recycles them. And it's amazing to see what all batteries can end up going into once they're broken down in various parts, even some of it ending up back in asphalt. But if you visit our recyclerightTN.com site and you look at batteries, we have a sheet on there that shows you what the life of a recycled battery is. So when we put these things together, we're not just simply giving a name. We've researched them. We know where the end is, and it's not the landfill. We know where it goes, and our promise to the community is when you go to this website, you're going to find a way to recycle something truly, and it gets back in the system instead of going back into the dirt.
I just saw a video the other day, and I used to do fire investigations, and I had one of those little Segway things that kids have, and they were charging up in their living room, and the parents said that thing caught on fire, and you could literally see the battery of all those lithium batteries that had just blown up. And I just recently saw a video of a home camera had a new puppy, and they were chewing on a child's toy that had a lithium battery in it, and them chewing on it made that thing spark and catch on fire. And I just had a coworker, a good friend of mine, lithium battery that they had thrown outside, and it caught on fire and caught their house on fire. Mm-hmm. So the way we treat these lithium batteries are just not something you need to throw in the trash and let it go over to this landfill, because it's going to it's going to cause some kind of damage, obviously, because when it gets compromised and it's broke down and rusts and things like that. But that's good to know with that Staples thing, because I've literally just took some DeWalt batteries that went bad on me, and I took them out there, and it was very easy. You've made me conscious of, we talked about it off air, but with the number of Amazon boxes, and I go to Leanna, the recycling thing that's in my district, and I'm going there, and I'm just blown away by how much better we could be doing and to make it happen. And this is a step in that right direction.
Well, and it's quite easy. When you look at the top 5 items we talk about, which is cardboard, plastic, metal, glass, and paper, they're easily identifiable. You don't have to think and look at it and go, gee, is this really recyclable? It makes sense. So you don't have to put a lot of time, effort, and energy into it. So if you just focus on those top 5, and we readily have recycle places available for those, you can eliminate, we talked earlier this morning, probably 2/3 of your household garbage right now just by those top 5. And all of our convenience centers take those top 5 we just discussed. And then if you want to get more in depth, the batteries we discussed, Staples takes electronics. We actually are meeting this afternoon with a private company that will take electronics. And as soon as we get that flushed out, we'll introduce that on our website to the folks and through our Facebook page as well. So we're looking for all those different opportunities. And if you don't have the opportunity to walk into places, we've even identified those that you can mail things into at no cost. For example, Legos will take back used Legos. Now, I don't know many people that are willing to give up their Legos, except the mamas that step on them. But Legos will take back your used Legos and recycle them, and they'll do it at no cost. You log in. We have that link on our website. You log in. They'll send you the mailing label and everything needed just to ship them all back to them. And then we have at least 3 clothing entities that will take back the clothes in the same manner. You go online. Again, the link is on our website. Tell them you've got some clothes to send back, and they will send you the mailing label at no cost for you to send it back to them.
That's pretty amazing.
And a check. Sometimes they'll send you a check back for your
Oh,
clothes.
wow.
Thread up will.
That's true.
So remind our audience, of course, I think we all have a desire, maybe not a passion, but a desire, to recycle, sustainability. Kind of walk our audience through the pathway of where it can or where it should go, be it glass or paper or plastic. What can they do rather than, so many of us tend to be skeptical that maybe that we put it in a recycle bin, but it doesn't actually get recycled. I think that's a common issue.
That has been part of the known comments in the community that we've had to overcome. And what I can assure you is that if they are on our website, we've tracked them down, we've followed the nose, and they truly do get recycled. So if you take anything to our convenience centers in the way of recycling that is a proper recyclable item, which again, the top 5 we talked about, the glass, the cardboard, the paper, the metal, or the plastic, 1s and 2s, and I'll get to that in a moment. All of those that go through our recycle centers are recycled. They go through the process, and we see them back in the community in some other form or fashion. The entities, the companies that we deal with, again, we know that they either right then and there, such as Clark Iron and Metal and Mid-10 Metal, that take metal here as their business, they recycle. They then take it and send it to a smelter, and it becomes something else. So those we can guarantee end up with some sort of recycle. What we can't guarantee with consistency are your plastics 4 through 7s. That's just a different type of plastic molecule combination, and we have not yet found a good chemical way to break those down and be able to recommit them to another product. And that's a nationwide problem. That's not just something we're looking at in Rutherford County. But when we talk about easy way to recycle, the industry has done a very good job now of labeling. A lot of folks don't realize that. But if you will look at your packaging from your laundry room to your bathroom, you're going to find something that is recyclable. And the easiest way to know that is what we're calling check the triangle. Somewhere on your package, be it your saltine cracker cardboard box or your laundry detergent plastic jug, there will be a triangle on there, and it will tell you if it's recyclable and what category it goes in. So that has been just a wonderful thing to see happen and come along to such a maturity as it has now for what we're trying to do with Recycle Right TN.
Our local convenience centers, I know, like Leanna is one of the main recycle centers for all of our convenience centers, but every convenience center takes some kind of the 5 you're talking about. I think they take at least 3 or 4 of them. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah. And Leanna, why is it so much special than everybody else? You might be able to explain it better than I can here today. So
Leanna takes electronics.
Yeah.
We don't have any other location that takes electronics at the moment. Again, we're working to expand on that to see if we have other opportunities at our convenience centers for electronics. If not there, again, that's why we promote the public sector, or the private sector partners that we have. So we originally had that at Haley Road. Haley Road is still under construction.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a county commissioner fussing about that right now.
I don't understand it. Like my property management Monday night, we just did a flag raising Sunday at the Plainview fire station, and we built 5 of those facilities, and they all have been ahead of budget or ahead of time and under budget. We returned back $2.1 million on those 5 projects. None of them were behind, all under budget. Haley Road is the exception to the rule, and I don't understand why. I don't know why, but I will I'll check on it. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'll work it from my end, you work it from
Yes,
yours, and we'll
ma'am.
see if we can't meet in the middle. How's
We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Facebook, it's always showing, different things, and recycling seems to be a prominent focus through so much of Facebook. But I've seen so many presentations over time where these countries are using maybe old tires to mix to make roads, or plastic bottles they mix in with the asphalt, and it's supposed to give it a pliability where it doesn't wear out and develop potholes. Are we just not there yet, or is that just something that's just too expensive for us to attempt? Do you know?
Those are 2 of the complications with it, but you also have to look at what countries we're talking about and the seasonal effects on it. If you're in a country that has no winter, some of those chemicals that we put in, or the products we put in, aren't going to be affected by the extreme cold or seawater if we're coastal. So you've got to look at those aspects of it when we're looking at what the other countries are developing, and then also see exactly how big of a project we're talking about. If it's a 5-mile section of their road, or if it's something they repave every year. So the headline is good. The details is where you get into and find out that it's either not sustainable,
Sure.
The environment is not the right for it, or we just don't have that focus here. So it really depends on a lot of different factors with that.
I agree. If you go outside the U.S., the recycling that other places do, especially some of the islands that I've been to, and how they treat their trash and what they do with it, it's just remarkable how we almost just kind of take it for granted here, I guess is the best way to say it. But I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but they totally do things a different way than what we do.
I have traveled extensively, and in the European countries, we do see a lot of it's just built in, the recycling, the expectation of it. My friends that travel enjoy helping me find the evidences of recycling. They'll go, Donna, did you see a picture of that? Did you get that can? Different aspects that we bring back, and I'll be traveling and send them back to Asia going, this is what they do in Paris, or this is what we found in Italy. I think we just sent something back from Israel the other day as well.
And when you were on the plane, too.
And we were on the plane, true. But you have to stop and think. Let's look at Italy, for example. England. They're an island contained into themselves. They also went through a war on their property. They didn't have a choice but to find something to do with what they had. And most of the time it was reuse, recycle. It became a commodity early on. So that's been kind of ingrained into them to do that. It was a way of life, and it's just built from there. And that's one of many considerations when you look at that. And look at Cuba, for example. Same thing there. They had no choice with the embargoes on them to. No old car gets rusted there. It gets restored and looks beautiful. You use every piece and part that is available to make things work. So it's a different mindset that they've ingrained in them for so many years. What I find interesting when we talk about recycling, plastics came along as a reason, particularly the plastic bags we use at grocery stores, to find a way to keep from deforesting the forest. An option for not cutting down all the trees. We're trying to save the trees.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going back to paper and cardboard because we have an opportunity to recycle those infinitely.
That's
and
right.
Plastic is now a problem. So it's interesting to see how things change with the seasons of generations.
And if you look at a creek or a stream that has flooded, all the trees are just inundated with plastic bags.
They are.
What an eyesore.
Yes, it is.
We're coming against our first break, and Asia, you're coming in on this second thing. I feel like we've left you out of this first segment. So
I really enjoy
the
listening.
second one's coming to you. So, but you're listening to Donna Barrett. She's the director of Recycle
RightTN.com.
Say it again.
RecycleRightTN.com.
So everybody kind of go to it. I've been sitting here fishing on it. And it's not only Rutherford County. It's all of several of our surrounding counties are part of that Middle Tennessee Solid Waste Group, right?
It's the 4 counties in the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Plan group. And we get it right here. We can be the example for the rest of the state.
I agree totally.
Wow.
Well, we're going to take a first break. Be right back with you in just a minute.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Bill Hagerty is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Bill Hagerty at 202-224-4944 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, AmeriCare Pest Control, and Old National Bank.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
My name is Laura Lynn, and my family needed legal help. The law offices of John Day took the burden really off of my shoulders. Never once did I feel secondary to anything else that was going on.
We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Let's check those WGNS Good Neighbor events. The lighting of the Rutherford County Christmas tree will be next week, next Friday, not this one, 5 o'clock in the evening on the east side of the Rutherford County Courthouse. That's Friday, December 5th, 5 o'clock. Strength, balance, stress relief, better sleep, and enhanced heart health, as well as an overall mental well-being. Why don't you try yoga? There are yoga classes at SportsCom, the Patterson Community Center, and the St. Clair Street Senior Center. So get in touch with the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department and learn more about the yoga classes that you can benefit from. For more Good Neighbor events, check our website, wgnsradio.com.
Rutherford weather.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms early this afternoon with cloudy skies, a high in the low 70s. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low 46. Wednesday, becoming sunny, high 56. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki from the WGNS Rutherford Weather Center. Currently, it's 59.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios, MTE serves members with more than just electricity. Their community outreach team works with schools, parents, and students to provide engaging and unique learning experiences. MTE serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's our pleasure this morning to have former state representative, now director of Recycle Right TN. I think I said Tennessee the first time, but TN is Donna Barrett, and she's brought along Assistant Asia Weatherford. And ladies, we're pleased to have both of you this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Asia, you're same age as my daughter, and I'm assuming you went to schools here, so, and she did as well. What did they have anything when you were in school as far as recycling or any of that, or is this?
This was all very new to me, and I always tell this story. I was really unaware that there were convenience centers until I married my husband, because I always lived in the city, so they just came and got the trash and never thought twice about it. And then I married my husband. We've always lived in the middle of nowhere. So we left the city and we've lived in multiple different places everywhere. And that's when I found out about the dump. And that's where you take your everything. And Rutherford County is great that you can actually recycle. I live in Bedford County and they need to step on it with some stuff. But Rutherford County is a lot better than some places. I will say that about it.
The Fosterville out that way, I know I've heard in the past they've had trouble with some people basically coming over real quick because it's easier for them to come over there than what they were having.
It is very close to the line for sure.
Yeah. So with your role within this program, explain to us kind of what you do and some things that you can offer.
I really am behind the scenes. She will text me or call me with just a few words and I'm like immediately looking it up. I'm calling different places, different recycle places to see, what's their end user. We're kind of getting into the business side of things, but for a while we solely focused on residential. And so I called all of the places, all the 100+ places that are on our website. One of us called, but just to figure out what they're doing and making sure it doesn't end in the landfill.
Got it. So you're at that age with my daughter, and social media is such a big presence for you guys. Is there influencers or things like that in this area that come to mind that we could maybe partner with? I'm sitting here on the county commission side trying to rack my brain of ways to change the way we do things.
Yes and no. It's just finding that millennial really that's actually into recycling. And And unfortunately, I know just from me, it's not really something taught in the South for some reason, which is one thing that we're really pushing, is the education side of things, and educating everyone from kids to adults. So that's a little bit harder, but just finding the right person who wants to show off how they recycle. She should be an influencer because she really has a really cool setup. But just finding someone who already does it and already has a passion for it is what we need, really.
And Asia, I think you can elaborate on this a little more. Asia also oversees our Facebook. She keeps us active and in our Facebook really current. The misinformation that's out there, or going down small paths to where it's recycling plastic into bird baths or feeders. Speak a little bit more about what you encounter with that versus what we really need.
Well, two things really with that is we've started a new thing that every Friday or Thursday or Friday I'll post something on how you can create something from your trash. Like I just posted how you can work with your kids to make a little turkey hanger out of a tin can, and it's like step by step, so you're not just tossing that into the trash, but you're actually using it for a little while. And then the misinformation, it's just, I think one of our biggest ones was pizza boxes. And everyone's like, oh, you can't recycle. Well, if you have all the food out of it, yes, you can recycle. It's still cardboard at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure the boxes say that. I know Domino's does. So it's just little things like that. But you can literally make trash into anything if you wanted to, especially if you have children.
I agree. I mean, I've got chickens now, and the whole reason we got chickens is our food. Everything that we eat, they like it just as well, if not better.
Yes.
Their eggshells. We feed them back to them, and we have our own little pile now that we make every couple of days, and we take out there, which they get the regular stuff, but it's like a delicacy when they see us come out there and dump that big pile. And
it's good for them.
Yeah.
Pumpkins, especially for chickens right now.
Exactly.
I wish there was a way to make the public aware that our resources are finite. I mean, at some point in time, we're going to run out of something. I mean, the precious minerals that there's such a fight for military and industrial use, that we seem to butt head with China on a regular basis. But about the only thing I know that we seem to have, even though it's finite, but we have a whole lot of, is coal. But everything else seems to be in a limited supply if we're not careful.
And everybody's standing in line to get that newest, best, greatest iPhone when it comes out. And
You're right.
we're using our resources for that. I want to go back, Rick, you and Asia were talking about a little bit about the organic side of it. And so, yes, we talk about the things where we can take our recycling for businesses to recycle into something else. There's also a big segment, and we'll see this more in the rural counties or the rural area, composting, natural composting in your backyard. As much as I hate to say it, burn piles are still an allowable and legal thing in Tennessee. So there are lots of different ways to take care of your garbage versus burying it and forgetting about it. And it's just a matter of making everyone aware of what those options are. Next year, you'll see us get more into the organic side, the do-it-yourself kind of stuff. Right now, the goal is just to identify and educate the folks on those things that can be recycled, what you can take out of that garbage right now, and in 10 minutes' time, a week, 2 weeks, take it to your nearest recycling and have it recycled.
I don't sell it. I give it away. My horse manure every spring for gardens and things. I tell them get it in about February because it needs time, because it's pretty, lethal stuff. But I bet it homegrown, freshly made, and people jump in line to get it. But you're exactly right with that. But my chickens love going out there, and they'll play in that thing for hours of digging out of it. Switching gears a little bit with the Middle Tennessee Solid Waste Board that you're a member of. I hadn't heard anything out of them lately, and I know there's a lot with Republic, but is anything going on behind the scenes, or have y'all had any action that's happened lately or anything?
Oh, there's always something going on behind the scenes.
Hot from the presses, right?
The advisory task force you're speaking of is the statewide task force that was put together by the General Assembly to address solid waste in Tennessee. And our goal is to be the leader for the nation, be the best state when it comes to what those best practices are. We've had one meeting. They're usually all day long. So our next meeting is December 8th at the Capitol in Nashville. We have yet to get the agenda, so I'm not sure what they're going to put on it, but I know what I've got to put on the agenda. But we're making progress. We've got a good team on there, and I think everybody on the board is truly looking for solutions, and I think we can all get to something we agree on. But again, it's a committee of 12 or 13, so give us some time to work through the personalities and get the information, all the information out that needs to be there. And that's a lot. We've got 56 years worth of legislation that has worked, kind of working, didn't work, and a pressing immediate issue on our plate right now. So it's gonna be messy, but we'll get through it.
And this is something y'all make recommendations to come out to change state laws and things like that, or how?
We will make recommendations. Our final report is due in 2029. So it's a 5-year task force. And what I expect to have happen of legislation that goes to change solid waste will come to us for review first and give us an opportunity to put all the facts behind it instead of running through the gamut like the other 1,600 bills run through a 4-month session in Nashville. It'll give us some time to really focus on it and get the facts.
What's the environment towards recycling generally through the legislative body?
I think it's the same as we have in the community. They're unaware of what's out there and what's available. We've seen that with the talks we've had with the General Assembly members. They desperately want a solution. They know we have to have something based on the information they currently have. And that's key, based on the information they currently have. So it's our duty to educate them on what's out there, what the landscape really is, and what our opportunities are. I can speak from experience as a legislator. You get 15 minutes to discuss an issue in your office, then you move right on to the next one. Well, hopefully, with all the work we've done in the last few years, we get to bring more to the table to say, wait a minute, here's the things we have, here's A and C, now help us get the middle and get them connected to make it work. And I think from what we've seen, I don't want to say it's as easy as that, but it's not as complicated as everyone thinks. It's just going to take some time and get away from the mindset that the easiest thing is just burying it and forgetting about it. We cannot continue to do that.
Well, with your experience in the legislature, you have a clue where most people that have never walked those halls or sat behind that desk, you have the mentality of how to get things done, where somebody like me, I wouldn't know where to go in the first place, except maybe talk to my representative, and which, like I said, 15 minutes and we're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, as Rick mentioned with manure, I know where to avoid those piles. I know where those piles are, where to avoid them.
Where to step.
Do you need some? I can get some to you.
I'll find plenty.
I guess this is a question from a county commissioner side of me thinking, with way the solid waste commission set up with you guys and those counties, and it seems like us as commissions, we're all doing things a different way. Is it because you guys are meeting and we're working on this study? Would it be smart for us to, like our Public Works Committee, that we have these meetings to where we meet with Warren County and Cannon County and Coffee County at some point, or we all get together and go to Henry Horton, for one thing, and make a meeting, if it's not once or twice a year, to kind of start that relationship process? Because if you guys come out of committee with some recommendations that affect us as being a unit together, that we open those lines of communication, or do we allow our county mayors for each of those counties. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts on that.
We got 15 minutes.
The Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Board, so we have those 4 counties, and that's our goal to have those 4 counties helping each other, bringing best practices from each one to it. The counties are so entirely different, more so not with their structure, their governmental structure, but with their budgeting capabilities, with their population size, with their just their everything. For example, when we talk about the private sector partners we've got 120 region-wide. Almost 80 of those are in Rutherford County. So the other 40 are spread among 3 counties. So the opportunities are different with each one. So what's going to work here may not necessarily be what's going to work in Coffee or Cannon County. And then you've got what the state provides. So what I'm hoping this task force does is take a comprehensive look at everything that plays into solid waste on a state level. That means what the county provides, what the cities provide, what the states provide, what the feds provide. Get that big picture on the table first, see what that puzzle looks like, and then get it together. Then we can come back to the counties. Obviously, we're going to want their input, and that's the board is very well represented statewide on it. And, of course, the General Assembly will comment as well. But I want to see all the puzzle pieces first.
Yeah.
And we don't have all those just yet. We're getting them. It seems like every meeting we go to, we pick up something else that needs to be on the table. So let me get everything on the table.
I understand. What brought it to mind is me coming in. There's a commissioner in Wilson County that they're fighting over our what we call R1 and our size of lots. And Wilson County is going to a big thing about their R1s over there. They're wanting to make them, ours is 5 acres. They're wanting to make theirs as little as 2 acres or even an acre. And there's this big discussion about it. But I had a conversation with a commissioner over there, and it seems like I'm dealing with an industrial warehouse project on 452, which is Bill France, where the Speedway is. It's all on the Wilson County side, is all warehouses. And now it's starting to creep over on our side, and the town of Smyrna is looking at annexing in and putting 22 warehouses out there. But we've never had that conversation, and it's been good to kind of establish a relationship, though it be this invisible line between the two of us, but to make sure we're like minds as far as how we want that area to develop against the county lines. And I just thought same thing probably with trash, that we might look at it.
Well, that's a very valid point. And I did not realize the zoning definitions could be different from county to county. So we're not quite at an impasse, but if you look at how we were all structured as a nation and came about, obviously we all want our individual sovereignty. That's why we all have our own constitutions, charters. We're developed.
That's right.
But now that society has brought us closer together, no longer is it a day's ride by horse to get from one end of the county to the next. Unless it's wreck on 24, you can be there in 20 minutes.
Which is every day.
And then let's not even talk about the instant connectivity with cell phones and internet and all of that. So we're taking a old structure and trying to make it work with this new society. And then you have folks coming in, moving from other places that expect consistency. And will it work this way here in Utah? Why is it not working that way here?
Yeah.
So there is some things that we do need to look at to standardize. But, you have to be real careful to where we cross the line and interfering with our sovereignty.
That is a fine line.
It is.
Are there still companies out there like Pratt? Are they still viable opportunities for recycling? I remember with Pratt, they would cardboard could be recycled up to 7 times, and they would take, they take all plastics because they shipped them off to some entity that I presume that they had interest in to make carpet out of. So are those opportunities still there with companies like that?
They are, and that's one of the Recycle Right TN is a bunch of different things. Client facing, community facing, we're the website. Behind the scenes, we're the connecting, we're the identifying the grants, we're finding the businesses or what it takes to get those businesses to be viable here or to recognize here. And quite honestly, every aspect builds one on the other. In order to have a Pratt or a glass manufacturer or a metal manufacturer, you've got to have the volume. You can't get the volume till you get the education for the need for the volume. You can't get the volume if you don't have the infrastructure to hold the volume. So everything is a step that's not too far behind the other. It's almost, remember Field of Dreams, build it and they will come.
Yes, ma'am.
Collect it and they'll come. So we got to get it collected.
Right.
I kind of forgot what hearing that made me think of another question I really wanted to ask the last one. I guess on the Republic side of it, and Murfreesboro has denied their offer, I want to say, so they've voted to continue with their lawsuit that they've got going on right now. Is there any movement in that since that last announcement? It's been kind of quiet, it seems like. So
fortunately, that's one lawsuit I'm not named in.
Yes, sir.
So, I will be notified when there's movement, and I haven't been notified of anything significant. When I say I'll notify, they keep me informed, so because it works pretty much hand in hand with the board,
That's
with
right.
the advisory task force, and then what we're doing with recycling. Although, again, what we're doing with recycling, while it goes hand in hand with landfill, it is something entirely
Totally
different. And
different.
regardless
Separate.
of what we do with the landfill, we absolutely must increase our recycling efforts. Absolutely have to. And this is not a party political issue. This is a personal responsibility issue. We created the garbage. We need to find a solution to it. And the first foremost thing is recycling.
Exactly right. We're going to take our second break. Listen to Donna Barrett. She's the director of RecycleRightTN.com. I got it right that time. But we're going to take our second break. Be right back with you in just a minute.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
What's the location of your emergency? I think my kid OD'd.
Hi, I'm Craig Harris. I'm County Commissioner of Rutherford County. One of the reasons I ran for office is because I wanted to bring awareness to the opioid epidemic that's impacting our county. To stop providing this epidemic with people as we educate. We have a lot to do, and we have to come together as a community because this problem is not going away.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
Local farmers, local meats, vegetables, and other produce at the Winter Spring Rutherford County Farmers Market.
Bundle up and make your way every Friday at Lane Agri Park.
It's a slick pig barbecue, Spicy wings and Brunswick stew, everything made fresh for you at the Slick Pig Barbecue. There's lean smoked turkey and chicken too, ribs so tender don't need to chew. Well, come on folks, I'm telling you, it's the Slick Pig Barbecue. In 1920 East Main, you're gonna love the pig.
The Slick Pig Barbecue, a Murfreesboro tradition.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And welcome back to the third and final segment this morning of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And certainly been our honor and pleasure to have Ms. Donna Barrett, director of RecycleRightTN.com. And, of course, she brought along her assistant, Asia Weatherford. And this is probably a tough question, but I'll go ahead and throw it out there. If you made all the decisions and in a perfect world, what would you want this process to look like?
Well, that's easy. Everything that can be recycled needs to be recycled, and we need to have those businesses here in Rutherford County. Let me rephrase it. We need to have those businesses here in Tennessee. I don't want to insult my friends. But you know, this is such a... I keep telling everybody what we're looking at is a commodity. Every item that we send through our recycling centers are commodities. They get remade into something another, and at a minimum, it shouldn't cost us anything. At best, it ought to make us something another. Right now, I just want to get it collected and start that process so that we can say we built it and they came. So that's my perfect world.
Aisha, what's your take on that?
I don't necessarily have a perfect world view of it, but I think people need to look at it differently. It's not a right or left issue. It's a right or wrong issue, and you need to do right for the generations to come.
Right, because our grandchildren and maybe their grandchildren may not have. I almost perceive a reclamation at some point in time in our future, if the Lord lets us stay around long enough, that we're going to be digging up some of these landfills and having to reclaim some of those items because we have run out of that particular metal or substance. So I don't know, maybe that's a bizarre way to look at it, but you know, it just makes me think that at some point in time, you know, with the way the what are we at, 8 billion worldwide or more, and it's just seems like we're using it up faster than it can restore itself naturally.
Well, if we'll just take lessons from Doc on Back to the Future, I think by the time he came back from the future, we had garbage as fuel. Right. So maybe we need to move forward a little bit and see what the capabilities are out there. But you're right, there is opportunity to reclaim what's there, and I would love to reclaim that mountain. But in reality, let's stop and think about that. If you think it stinks now, wait till you start uncovering all of that decomposed items that, remember, it's a mandate that they cover it daily. There's a reason they cover it daily. Yes, and I just would not want to dig that out without some huge cover over it, and I don't think we can afford that.
I can't fathom the idea of having to do something
and
like
I really
what that would undertake.
And the smell, I unfortunately didn't take that into account, so...
Well, it's there, and I don't want it to get worse. Well,
I invite everybody to reach out to their website starting today, if you haven't yet, and find a way to change things. We're 3 out of the 4 of us are getting AARP cards in, and here we are wanting to make a difference. And Asia, at that ripe age of young 20s, that same way my daughter. I think she's in the workforce now, so her whole way of thinking about life and everything has totally changed for her, and I just wish we could come with a common plan. The Republic's going to go away.
Yeah.
I mean,
and with Christmas coming up, that's the biggest trash month of the year.
That it is.
I mean, it's just I can remember before Weekly was moved, that convenience center there in Smyrna. You know, it used to clog up Weekly and Nissan because everybody would line down on the road to take all the Christmas stuff to the convenience center.
Oh, they still do. We got it over 3 lanes wide now where they didn't on Weekly Lane.
Yeah.
But,
Well, if the listening audience will commit to recycling those top 5, we'll find a way to make sure it's collected and we have the resources there to make it be something that we can recycle and not just bury it and forget about it.
Yeah.
God bless you for your mission, this and your efforts, because certainly important.
Thank you.
Everybody, hope you enjoyed our show, and for Wayne and I, hope y'all have a very happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your loved ones in this time. If a lot of you may be on the road traveling and things like that, so we ask you to be safe travels.
And you get a pass on Thanksgiving. You don't have to watch what you eat. Or at least that's the mentality I'm going to take.
Calories don't count on Thanksgiving.
Calories don't count. We're going to have to make that a website. Calories don't count. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Subscribe to Big G TV. Local content that matters to Rutherford